on a water waddle.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and we're having a special break of the base today, episode 135. I have with me here Madam B.
Yay!
And KP.
Yay!
I like KP with Ken. I don't know how you say you want Ken.
Whatever, you can knock yourself out.
Was it K-pop? Yeah.
Ooh, I dance good.
But anyways,
knock it out.
we have a pretty interesting video we're going to be shooting today. We're going to pick two of Hollywood's most iconic older icons of the 80s and 90s, right? Or it's just the 80s?
Right. 90s and some of the 2000s.
I said the 80s and 90s.
Well, they started in the 80s for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Three most notable roles of
one. The biggest things were pretty much in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're picking two special icons from the 80s and 90s, and we're pitting them together today against each other. Our first contestant here is going to be Sylvester Stallone, best known for Rocky films as well as The Expendables and Rambo.
Rambo is his starting point.
And on the other side of the fence, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's best known for Terminator, as well as Conan the Barbarian, as well as Predator.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they've both been in more movies.
Each has their own iconic franchise. We got Rambo, Rocky, we got Conan and Terminator and Predator. So I mean, the big starting points of their action careers are all there, even though they tied together in Expendables. At least in Expendables 2. I don't think he was in the... Yeah, he was in the first one. Just briefly, though. Together.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Mission Impossible versus Fast and the Furious. Okay. I see what you're talking about. I'm going to look at that, and then I'll try to... I'll get some points off of that. Oh, sorry.
ADD moment. Look, squirrel!
But yes, out of curiosity, just give me your general thoughts on these two actors. Because me personally, I think for the 80s and 90s, they ruled the 80s and 90s with the action films that they had.
Pretty much.
Well, I knew about Arnold before I knew about Sylvester. I guess I grew up watching Arnold with the. Of course, we had to watch it. Like I always say, folks, if we wanted to stay up, we had to watch what Mama watched. So that was either Jean-Claude, Arnold, or maybe once in a while Sylvester. So
I'm gonna to your point. Add to your point. I think when I was coming up, it was more Arnold Schwarzenegger than Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I knew about Arnold. We had the movie Kindergarten Cop. I know she had Terminator, just the first one. We didn't have the other ones. And I finally got around to watching Total Recall. So, but yeah, Arnold, he's a great actor. He's funny, and with his accent, it just makes it all the more better.
I like Sylvester Stallone. I didn't really follow the Rocky series. I'm sorry, I did not like it. I didn't think his character was compelling or anything. And plus, when you watch the fights, to me, all it is he gets punched in the face for 95% of the fight, and then he throws one or two blows. And I've never actually really cared for the character of Rocky. I did, and I really didn't care for Rambo either.
What?
Now, when I watched the last Rambo movie, what was it, part 5 or part 4?
I lost track.
I think it's part 5. I don't know. It's either 4 or 5. Now, that one I did like. Because in that one, he's, of course, he's older at this point. He's more of like this worn-down veteran that doesn't want to fight.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. I did really enjoy that one. And plus, I've never been that type of guy to, even with Arnold, because in Rambo, he's more of like a one-man army. And back in the day, that was cool. Like now, I'm like, I don't like one man armies like that. And even though I enjoy Commando, I still hold on to that too. Like, yeah, it's cool that they're both doing this one man army thing, but at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's too unlikely for me. Um, but I think I had more connection towards the Commando character because his daughter's life was at stake. As in Rambo, he's more of just doing what the government tell him to do, and he just go in and just do it. But then, but like I said, I did like part four. I really enjoyed that one. And also, I liked his role in Creed because it wasn't him trying to be an older man trying to get back to this, I guess, younger man's game. It's him basically passing of the torch. So I really enjoyed that as well too. I want to ask you too, in terms of acting, who you think is a better actor?
Oh,
Ken, what is your input as far as
You just,
who,
you just did that.
I'm sorry. I need y'all to jump in. Knock me off the pedestal. You know, I get to talking. I get to talking.
Okay.
that's why you're drinking all the water. Ding.
Sylvester Stallone or Arnold?
I think I like Arnold a lot more. I think because most of the movies I started watching were all Schwarzenegger movies. Forever. I never watched a Rocky movie. I've never seen a Rocky movie.
Yeah.
I have seen the Rambos and Demolition Man, probably one of my more favorite Stallone movies.
Yeah.
He went hard in Demolition Man.
Yeah, you know, I really liked that one. When he was Judge Dredd, I kind of enjoyed it, even though I liked the remake better with Carl Urban in it.
Yeah.
But at the time, we'll use that.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. He kind of fit the bill, but they expanded him a lot more than the Dredd. Urban was more the comic style.
Yeah, the Dredd character.
Yeah, the Dredd character in Stallone played a Dredd character, tough guy, kind of, but they threw too much
they put too much Stallone in it.
Yeah, it's just too much. It had some cool stuff. I liked it the way it looked.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it. I couldn't get into it. I mean, I liked it. I just couldn't get into it as much as I liked the Carl Urban one, though.
Yeah.
He's pretty much all the way through. But again, going back to the question, though, I think I've pretty much enjoyed the fight between the two throughout their movies. They're little, it's always little innuendos and stuff back and forth to each other, like in Twins. Arnold's looking at a poster of Stallone for Rambo, and he goes, he's puny, compared to him. Rambo took a leak on one of his, I can't remember which movie it was, but Stallone took a leak on one of the movie posters for Stallone. It was just, the small back and forth they've had over the many years that they've been doing shows has always been fun.
The only time I've ever seen, anyone that I've caught is in The Last Action Hero, where the boy tried to show Arnold's character that he was supposed to be Terminator, but it wasn't him, it was Sylvester Stallone. And he was like, what do you mean? He's a fantastic actor. That's about the only thing I've caught.
They've had fun in several movies back and forth for a while there. And it was cool to see them, kind of all unite in the Expendable series.
Yes.
Of course, we all had to have Chuck Norris show up. He's the badass of the badass, all of them.
One man army.
Literally. But you know what? It's Chuck freaking Norris. And hell, he's older than both of those two. Chuck Norris is like 74 years old. Schwarzenegger's like 70. And Stallone is, what, 72?
Yeah.
You got to consider, they're doing these action movies and they're in their 70s. It's pretty wild, that they've carried on. But that's what they're, known for.
I think in terms of the two actors, I think Arnold's a bit more diverse with his performances. That was the movie Kindergarten Cop.
Yes.
Did y'all ever see the zombie movie Maggie?
Did not see that one, but we've talked about it.
Yeah, in the movie Maggie, he plays his father who's watching his daughter slowly become a zombie. And it's drama, it's more emotion and stuff. And it's like, okay, Arnold's playing an emotional role. And he actually does it. He does a good enough job. Does a pretty good job.
Yeah, he's played a lot of roles where he's not just a killing machine. I mean, he's actually had other other ties, other styles in there. Most of the Stallone movies have always pretty much been action based. I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head that wasn't a very easygoing. He's not cutting somebody up or whatever movie. It's just always been fairly action oriented. I mean, Rocky would probably be the only one
That has some
that would,
emotional.
yeah, that would have that emotional tie in it. I mean, there's still action, but not like playing any of the other style characters.
Hmm.
Um, and Creed would be one of those movies as well. Again, but we're still in the Rocky series. It's just changing of the guard. Basically, we're passing it down to another generation to carry on because I think they're filming Creed 2 right now anyway, which would
Yes.
basically be Apollo's son versus the I think in Rocky was it
Russian guy,
2, the Russian guy.
which I don't see how that's gonna.
I don't know how they could pull that off because I think there's a huge difference there.
As a guy, the Drago, yeah. And I'm like, well, Drago should be like what 60, 70 now. So Apollo's supposed to fight this 20, almost maybe 30-year old guy is gonna go fight the 60, 70-year-old man. But okay, I guess Drago was doing all that extreme crazy stuff training. So maybe this one of them Apollo can get knocked out in the first round and had to come back and try to beat him or something like that. But yeah, I think Arnold has always had more range with his acting. Even what's the Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh yeah, comedy with Sinbad.
Love that one.
yeah.
Love that one.
Funny, the action adventure character.
I'm trying to figure out any movies where it's like they were either one was like in a horror movie or something. I know Arnold played in this movie called Sabotage.
Did I see that one?
He was a dick in that movie. Like I've never seen Arnold cussing and stuff like that in a movie before, but he was like, "Shut the f up," and all this stuff.
Quiet,
Uh,
shut your hole. Oh, there is a movie called. Okay, let's see
I
what
was
that's
gonna
all about.
say End of Days. I did like that one. He was a cop, but he was kind of off the wagon a little bit
did he
because
like drink? It wasn't like his family died or something like
yeah,
that.
he
Yeah.
got killed. And he blamed himself because he wasn't at home, and then the devil came and offered him all kind of these,
Goodies.
all that stuff, and you had to see him go through, you know, all of the emotions, as him reliving it over and over again. And also, well, Satan making him reliving it over and over again. So you saw him as a sympathetic character in End of Days, but you also saw him kick some ass. But he didn't die in the end. So, oops.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead and knock yourself out.
It's
Tell,
going to
tell,
hurt. It's a tumor.
I've did y'all ever see that movie Escape Plan?
I had some interest, not necessarily seeing it in the theater, but actually, seeing that on DVD or something like that because I was kind of curious, and I think there's actually a second version of that being filmed or is getting ready to be released here real soon. I was trying to find it real quick. I just saw a note about it somewhere because there's Creed 2, Expendables, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Tango and Cash. That was another great movie.
Which one?
Tango and Cash. That was kind of the humorous side of Stallone.
I never got actually saw that. I saw a review on it, but I never actually saw the movie.
Yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but it's actually a little bit different. I mean, it's got action, but they're trying to dive into his comedic side a little bit there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got some good humor, and it's pretty nice. It's not challenged. Specialist was another good movie too. Specialist was actually a pretty decent movie with Stallone in it.
Yeah, I did see that one, well, because,
Yeah, you just
Mom,
brought that up. You just brought
yeah,
that up.
Mom
Okay.
had the movie. So
How
we had
about
to.
Over the Top? Also was another one of those kind of interesting sideline movies where he's like an arm wrestler, if I remember right. Yeah, he's an arm wrestler in that one. It was like the big challenge, arm wrestling challenge, and he's like the Billy Bad guy and coming in there trying to win,
I'll
save
tell
the
you one
day.
movie I could not stand Sylvester Stallone in, and it's because it showed his age really bad. And that's the movie Bullet to the Head.
I have never Bullet to the Head.
He was
It's
supposedly
not
like
ringing a bell.
he's like a hitman or something, or a a mercenary or something like that. And like
Hmm.
the entire movie's people getting shot in the head, bullets to the head. Go figure.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
then he's teamed up with this cop, and the cop is one of those green behind the ears, with behind the ear types,
Green
Newbies.
whatever. And he has to follow everything by protocol and all of that. Even if and it put them in some stupid situations. Like it was one part where Sylvester Stallone went to talk to some guy about information. Guy got the jump on him, and he tried to pull a gun out on the guy and realized he had no bullets because the dumb jackass pulled the bullets out of his gun.
Huh.
And got to, and I was like, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that sucker punch because he knocked the hell out that boy for that one. Just came up to him and got him in the gut. But like, I didn't like that one because it was stupid, and everybody had the dumbest motivations, and
Well, that's how they,
It's got a really
after
jacked up cast too.
so many years of doing the young action, either with Arnold, Sylvester, even though you don't like him, Dolph Lundgren, when they
Yay!
when they get up in their age, it's always a movie about him being an old thing and a new rookie. Like you have to train him or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well,
and I also
it's just, and many other actors do that same formula too. I mean, you see the action or the older, whatever now, dragging along the green rookie with them, kind of like what was that movie, Training Day?
Hmm.
Dragging Ethan Hawke around, making him become the fall guy, or we have uh, Clint Eastwood, very well known for westerns, bringing in having the old, green kid or whatever with him, always gets off, so he goes on a revenge plan.
yep.
So the formula's always been around in there. It's just how they implement that particular actor into that setup, and that's why I say the Expendables is that exact movie. They want to bring those 80s and 90s action heroes all together. Stallone in the lead running that, kind of
Or they
winding them down.
or have somewhat of what they used to have.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
also
kind of
say
like a
between
last. It's like one of them last ditch efforts because I mean, unless those actors, like Stallone or Schwarzenegger, have taken other roles into other things, they're forever cast into that um, genre of movie.
Action.
I guess like Schwarzenegger has done other things that are not typical "I kill you" action movie. It's again doing
he's even
something
played
better.
a lecturous royal jackass. Remember around the world in 80 days.
Oh, I didn't see.
Well, he was. They stopped off to this one place, and he happened to be like the king or the emperor there. Had this long hair, wavy hair, and everything, surrounded by all his royalty. And he was trying to wed the chick that was with him, and didn't want to be with him, and it got him up in arms. So what they did was they was gonna they was gonna knock over one of his statues. He was like, no, no, just leave it. So you can go. So they left it and they were gonna go, but they accidentally fell over anyway. And I like those cameos of him. That was pretty funny. Now I've seen another really emotionally powerful movie that I've seen him play where he like emotion, collateral damage.
God, every time you mention one, I haven't seen
His wife and son, or wife and daughter, wife and son, I believe, were killed by I think terrorists. Yeah, they were because he was a firefighter, and terrorists ended up killing his family. So he went after them. He went looking for those terrorists, but it wasn't the gung ho Arnold Schwarzenegger that kills everybody. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay. I was trying to remember that movie.
Even in the 6th Day, I like the 6th Day.
Yes.
Yeah, 6 Day was good. I like 6 Day. It was a very interesting variation of the movie. What was the other one I wanted to yap about? Racer wasn't too bad either, but it was still going back to that Billy Badass. Still got that mentality, but he's not like all super gun ho.
You never get too far away from action.
No,
Like,
you can't.
like
I mean, if
Forrest
you look,
Gump.
even like say Red Heat, uh, where he was a Russian cop in that movie, he still got the gun-toting badass. You know, just because he's Russian in this case instead of a German or something. Always in there, always somewhere near the triggers, basically.
I'll tell you one movie that I do like. I really like him in. I didn't think I like him. Then I seen it years later. I was like, it's still an enjoyable movie. Cobra.
Love Cobra.
Okay.
I still don't.
Wrong movie.
I still don't understand what the hell that movie's about, but I really enjoy it.
It was a cult, basically. He interfered with a cult, and they went after him with everything because he did it.
Yeah, okay, okay, I understand that.
But the
Especially
cars was badass. I love his cars in there.
that the guy they kept calling him Pig or Pick. One was remember the guy with the knife and the axe.
Yeah, the two axes slapping them together.
Yeah, they be like ting ting ting.
Ding.
Okay, okay. That I actually I remember a lot of the movie. Like I was like I watched this movie when I was like 10, and then I watched it a few years ago. I was like, man, this movie's still pretty badass.
Yeah, Cobra was cool. I did enjoy that one. A little over the top, but you know what? Pretty freaking cool.
Wait.
I was gonna say, did y'all know he was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
As
You know the blue guy.
Yeah.
He was a former member of that blue guys. Like the blue guy
oh, I
was a
did
former.
see him.
Stallone was.
Yeah, yeah. And
Stallone
remember,
was.
yeah, remember
At the end, he
they shot.
actually, well, he was in the middle and the end.
He was throughout the movie, but he wasn't like a part of like the story like that.
No, he was just one of the Reavers,
Yeah,
but just a different clan, I guess.
yeah. Because it was like what like 10 clans.
Something like that. Because he was stealing and kidnapping kids, they ousted him because it was
Yeah.
against their code. But in the end, he pulled it off, and they all came to celebrate his death, basically.
Hmm. I'm like that. I like them in that role as well. Did y'all ever see Grudge Match?
I haven't.
I heard that it was all right, but I was like, okay, I think they're kind of treading into the Rocky territory now. I'm like, is Grudge Match like a spinoff of Rocky? Oh man, but yeah. Every time I've seen, okay, when you think of action star, like when it comes to the certain style of acting of action, which one do you think plays a little bit better? Because I honestly, Stallone back in the day, I would say he was a little bit too cold of a character because he was a badass character. It was too no personality. Now in the Expendables, he's badass, but he has personality. He has depth to his character. So, like, if you could pick, like, okay, if John Rambo was too much of a cold character on Stallone's side, then I would say Terminator would be the
Yes. Equivalent.
yeah equivalent of Arnold. Uh, and in that style, like which one of them has a better diversity of like a badass character themselves? If you get what I'm saying.
I think Schwarzenegger kind of covers many versions of badass.
Yeah.
From the stone cold, no emotionless killer to the revenging father or say avenging father figure or an opposite, just like in the movie with his daughter turning into a zombie. He's a completely different character. But I think in comedy too, you see a lot more comedies also with Schwarzenegger, like in Twins, Last Action Hero, where he's kind of making fun of himself. I think, to me personally, I think Schwarzenegger has a little bit more diversity in his styles of movies and levels of badassness.
I kind of feel bad now because I'm like thinking this Sylvester Stallone, and right now I feel like Sylvester Stallone is like Prince because like every time you hear people talk about Prince, they always say they like Purple Rain and Diamonds and Pearls, but they can't name any other freaking song that he sang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like with Stallone, it's like all I can think of is Rocky.
Rambo and Rocky.
Now, I see he has a large filmography, and of course, some of his older movies. Okay. Now maybe he does have some drama in those and everything, Just hadn't really caught a look at him. But I'm watching more his more recent stuff, and the bigger name stuff are those. Now with Arnold, I want to say like his movies get more shine, the more standalone ones, Commando, Predator, even what Jingle All the Way. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody does it, and I would say that he was pretty well miscast for this. Batman and Robin.
Oh, Mr. Freeze.
Terrible.
Every line was a pun. It was definitely a pun. But and even when we was looking at the little review for Hercules, that was so cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, well, you have to see like where Schwarzenegger came from. He was a bodybuilder that got into the movies, and he just kept making a name for himself. So you hear Schwarzenegger, you're gonna think back to the bodybuilder and some of his older stuff, Hercules in New York. I never heard of that until I saw the review. But you're gonna think back to the bodybuilding. He had a commercial and he was promoting fitness and everything. So, that's what you think of.
All right. If you could pick a franchise from each one of these two actors that you want to see them bring back, make a sequel to, what would you want? And I would definitely cut off Terminator if I could, but it wouldn't be fair. I honestly want to see Conan come back, and I guess Jason Momoa played.
I would like to see Conan the King come in.
Jason Momoa played the latest Conan movie. Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, but
like you and my other half both want to see that movie.
Like I wouldn't mind seeing Arnold being Conan, passing the torch, give it to his son. Let him and somebody else, somebody play his son, go on this grand adventure, and that'll be his final send off to his character, and that would allow the franchise to continue. Because I would honestly like to see that with Rambo too. Like Rambo have a son that went to the army, and basically, what's that movie? A Good Day to Die Hard, but better.
Oh, okay. McClane's carrying on with his son.
Yeah, like that'll be the send off. That'll be the total send off. And one of my favorite movies is Red Sonja, even though that movie gets crapped on a lot.
Yeah, there was probably a reason for that.
They're actually doing another Terminator.
Yeah.
Well, so we've already got another Terminator. We've got another Rocky. I mean, we're getting Creed. We're getting a Terminator reboot. I think.
Reboot.
So it's like they're competing. Yeah,
we're going to come back and destroy you all.
They're just throwing stuff at the wall. They're just throwing stuff at the wall at this point.
Yeah, I like the Terminator, and I would like to see it continue, but they've got to change.
They need somebody that actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, get a new director, get some fresh eyes, something. And I already know they're working on the next Terminator film, which basically will happen, I guess, somewhere in the events of 2, where we saw T2 happen. So the timeline's skewed now, so God knows what's going to go on. I mean, it gives them opportunity to tell some other stories, but realistically, come on, let's get some good material. Let's get something in there, just like we were watching Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah,
let's get some of that storyline going. What the heck happened there? Let's do something with that, tie it in somehow. I mean, there's got to be something there. I mean, they didn't create it and go back for nothing.
Just threw like Sarah, like after the second one, it's like they just got rid of her and just focused on the Terminators. And
after the third one,
the son.
The third one focuses on the son because at this time she died. But and I don't think that was a bad way to go with that series. But the problem is they They were trying to make it a franchise. Every movie is supposed to be a franchise. It's like, no, you're not supposed to have your movie where it kickstarts off into the franchise. Now, three made sense because it was the beginning of the war.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the start of everything.
So they
It
should
had
have.
no Sarah Connor involved at all. It was purely the kid.
And I can understand everybody says the Terminator after that one didn't exist because I would agree with them, and just have Terminator Genesis pick up after three because you did see the war. You saw more war in that first 5 minutes of the damn movie than you seen in the whole entire movie of that fourth movie. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't mind that they changed up the storyline in Genesis because but the problem with it was they tried to make it to where it was more than just it was going to be sequel bait. No, if you're going to change this story, the timeline like this, and make a new story, make that movie a standalone. If they have potential for a sequel, yes. Um, and that's my thing with it. I want to see them do another Expendables because I really like the Sylvester Stallone character with the Expendables, and I want them to do a better job of Arnold's characters because Arnold's characters, I'm like, what the hell is the point of him being in the movie?
He's just a CIA guy, just kind of to show up in the movie.
Yeah, he's like
Just
his
like Harrison
role
Ford
in the
showed
movie.
up, you know.
Yeah, his role in the movie is literally to make a cameo. Yeah, he
Yeah,
had kind of a bigger role in the second one, and kind of a decent role in the third one, which I'm still not understanding. Is him and Jet Li gay?
I don't know.
I don't get that part. He gonna give him a hug. He gonna put his head. I'm like, what the hell is
Okay.
He'll kill him later.
that? I kind of wish they would have made a Demolition Man too.
There is talks about reviving that. I saw a blurb the other day talking about Demolition Man and potentially in a year or so maybe throwing out a screenplay slash movie for it. They could basically carry on where everything left off, but they're gonna have to have another bad guy, and they're trying to figure that out.
I don't. But this my thing was I don't want Sylvester to be like the main character like that because in that one, yeah, he was younger, so he could fight, he could run, and all of that stuff. Like now he's older. I want if he's going to be in the movie, I want to see him like the sergeant guy.
Yeah, the experienced guy who's got all the knowledge base, trying
Yeah,
to rebuild a world of people who are now coming out of the woodwork. The undergrounder guys are now coming
because,
into society, and they
and
bring him
plus
into the trouble.
you got to think about it. There was a lot of criminals that escaped. Oh,
Yeah,
dude did release a lot of criminals.
he thawed out quite a bit. So
So it's like if he, it ain't gonna be no Sylvester Stallone sitting here just whooping ass like he was in the other. Like, no, it wouldn't make sense. It would be him doing him from an experienced position, but have some younger cat do it. And yes, give him some moments because I honestly I would like to see Sandra Bullock come back, even though
yes,
people said that was like her worst performance. Like, no, I really enjoyed the character.
Well, okay, between the two of them, even with their upbringing, their careers, who do you think had a greater career from their first movie until now?
It's equal.
Really?
I
yeah,
think it's
I
equal.
kind of think they pretty much have almost movie for movie and style for style have pretty much matched. I think Arnold may have a little bit more because he's kind of diversified in some other things, but um, I think they've kind of remained quite equal and successful in both ways.
What was that one Stallone movies where he was like rock climbing or something like that?
Cliffhanger,
Did you ever see that?
yes,
I didn't see that.
it wasn't too bad. A little bit different, but it's more action oriented. Again, obviously action oriented, but not so much gunplay. It's more having to use your brain a little bit to outthink the bad guys.
Oh, okay.
I think it's got John Lithgow and a couple other people in it too.
I know he was. I think the bad guy in Spy Kids, one of the Spy Kid movies.
Who?
Sylvester Stallone. And I've been meaning to
Mm,
see that movie Get Carter.
never seen that one.
So as
I
for the career, they're equal.
I say about equal. 'Cause
Yeah,
both of
I
them,
think they've done fairly well.
yeah. 'Cause both of them are leading men of some really good franchises. They've had really good standalones.
Oh
They've
yeah,
had
Spike
their
Leads 3.
they've had their share of shitty movies too, but
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
and I was interested in seeing Assassins too because I really do like I really enjoy Antonio Banderas as a actor.
Bandero.
You just making fun of the way
Well,
I
you keep
talk,
putting it out there.
guys.
You keep putting it out there.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I think after this, I'm definitely if I get a chance to watch the Escape Plan, I want to see that. 'Cause I want to see them two like interact. Because yes, I did get a little bit of that in Expendables, but not enough to be like, oh, I had Rocky Balboa. I did watch that one, and I think he was supposed to be fighting some young cat.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was fighting. Supposed to be fighting a young black dude. Uh, they did this one weird thing in the movie where it was like they computer generated like a simulation of them two fighting. I was like, what? Man, but that was weird. But I did get to see that as well. But
Who do you think would win in a fight?
they both be on the ground.
I think Stallone has kept himself up a lot more physically than Schwarzenegger has.
I'd say I'd agree with you on that because Schwarzenegger did take a few years off. He was in politics and stuff,
California,
so he
California.
really not, he really didn't have a reason because a lot of Sylvester Stallone's movies he is fit. Even in Rambo, not Rambo, even in the Expendables, he's fit.
Yes,
Arnold's fat.
you could see the kind of the stomach bulge with Arnold on one of the Expendables movie, and with Stallone he was fit. It's Stallone just okay, okay.
I watched this movie called The Last Stand with Arnold. That was actually a pretty good movie. It was one of those movies that put him in the action role, but it wasn't over the like. It wasn't like Arnold, you're too old for this. Like I actually liked it that he was in that role, and it actually fit him. And I don't say that too often. Hell, I love The Running Man.
Oh, excellent movie.
And you were talking about. Did you ever see that movie Junior?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I remember seeing that too. Just being present. Didn't they have a sequel to Twins?
They're talking about making one,
They were talking about this one a while ago.
but it's been quiet though. I haven't heard anything more about it.
And then of course we had the Expendable 4 that's coming up. So hopefully, I want to see what the hell Arnold's crew is. Arnold's supposed to be this badass, but we don't see his crew.
Mm.
So I want to see who's working with him.
Dolph Lundgren.
No, not Dolph Lundgren. I don't like that guy.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty smart guy, ironically.
You know, Josh, we should do John Claude Van Damme versus Dolph Lundgren later on. Not later on
Hmm.
today, but it's another video.
And either Rambo versus Terminator or Rambo versus Conan.
So you going
Rambo's gonna lose. The Terminator kill him.
and then
Rambo's toast.
Conan with the power of Crom will lay waste to that scum. Not
Sort
really.
of break off trying to cut him. Come on now.
Rambo just shoot him. Bow.
Okay, so they both had excellent careers. They're still very well known.
Still pretty active.
They're still pretty active, yes.
I think Stallone's more active than Schwarzenegger has been. Because he's in like a couple of movies coming up here real soon anyway, with Creed and Expendables and a couple of, well, Schwarzenegger's come back in that too, but
Yeah. They had Arnold like recently on the whatever you call it, on the square, dressed up as a Terminator. They thought it was like a fake, and then he was walking around as a Terminator, bullet holes all in his face.
nice.
And it was actually pretty great.
I would give it to. I think Stallone has had more movies more recently. I've seen that Arnold's been in at least one or two movies per year the last few years, and Stallone has been in
He's got about 4 or 5.
Yeah, he's about the same. 2013 Escape Plan, Homefront, Grudge Match. 14 Expendables 3, Reach Me. 17 Guardians of the Galaxy, Animal Crackers. I just want to watch Animal Crackers because that's the name of the movie. This year, Creed 2, Escape Plan 2. They've been pretty active they've been pretty active together. That's interesting. I'm gonna check that out. I do but we are coming up on the stopping point, guys. And are there any final thoughts to this? Have we wow. Oh, that I thought the light was coming down. But
Oops.
all right then. So have we still everybody pretty much continue with that thought that Arnold is a bit better than Stone? Because me personally, I'm gonna be on the fence about it. They're about equal, even though I've seen more
Well,
Arnolds.
I wouldn't say a bit better. Arnold is just more well known. You know Stallone, but do you know Arnold? It's like that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I wouldn't say better because they're like you said they're both equal in their careers and all that stuff. But Arnold is just a little bit more well known than Stallone.
Well, he's been in acting a lot longer than Stallone was because he was in when he came over. He did like a couple of these bodybuilding movies, and then he did one of those old kind of campy Western comedy movies. And I think his name got put out there a lot earlier than Stallone did. Stallone, I think's big thing was coming into the Rocky series. I mean, that's kind of pretty much his
I think
claim to
Stone
fame.
actually was like a Shylock or something.
Who?
A Shylock? What is it called? I don't. I was watching the review of it, and it was giving a bit more backstory about how he was able to get the role of Rocky, and it had something to do with him being a. I don't know. Let me shut up. Anyways, so y'all heard our debate and discussion on Sylvester Stallone versus Arnold Schwarzenegger. And in the comment section below, guys, let us know which one of these badasses is your favorite actor, or which one you would rank better than the other. Any final thoughts? All right, there. Be sure, guys, to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on here on the Narrative Chase channel, as well as stay tuned. Mostly on Thursdays, we upload videos. So stay tuned for those, guys. We'll definitely catch you guys later.